Hello, friends. My name is Aslam Sheikh, your host for this evening. I'm a founder and CEO of Aleph, a platform to promote the global perspective of education and career. This is our 71st career talk and broadcasted live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Every Friday, we aim to bring in the valuable speakers to discuss the topic that is important to you and for your career. For the benefits of the viewers who are joining us first time, let me quickly introduce. Aleph is named among the top 10 most recommended overseas education consultant by the very reputed Educational Insight Success magazine just last year. This year, we've been chosen among the top 10 global education leaders making changes in the global education. We have counseled over 23,000 students in last over 12 years, and we offer our students the options of 200 plus universities across 14 countries. So with this short introduction, let me quickly move on to our today's and very interesting and indeed a unique topic, a unique way to guarantee your career in the US. We already got a lot of interesting comments on this topic who wants to know more about this. And to discuss these exciting subjects, we have with us an expert speaker. So let me do the honor of introducing him. Hello, Jim. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? So excited to be here with you today, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for joining us from US. So let me quickly introduce to you our audience. Jim Smith is the Director of International Admissions for High Point University, US. For the past 30 years, Jim has worked in both boarding schools and college admissions, striving to provide students an opportunity to grow and develop their lives and careers. Jim considers himself fortunate to be working at High Point University, where each student receives an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. So, with this short introduction, let's quickly move on to our today's topic. So, friends, as you must have noticed, that here we are not going to discuss very traditionally or conventionally about the courses and the fees, but we are going to go beyond classroom. We are going to go beyond education, and we are going to touch upon some very interesting and important points. I'm sure that you must be seeing in your Facebook feeds, Insta feeds, or stories that lot of talk has been going on that whether the education is really important, and if it is important, then what about the life skills which an individual needs to develop along with the education. And this is where I guess a lot of industrialists, lot of visionaries are targeting or maybe saying that our education system needs to be changed for good to meet the future requirement. And related to that, in fact, I have got some very interesting reports and data to share with you. And let's take an example of US, who we consider as number one destination for the global education. In US alone, 50% of students enter college undecided on their majors. And in addition, an estimated 75% of students change their major at least once before graduating. And that tells you a lot. So, friends, let's continue on this research data. And let me go back to our today's speaker, Jim, and let's quickly ask him. But before jumping onto this topic, let's first try to understand the city of North Carolina from where Jim comes and his reputed university is located. So, Jim, my first question to you on behalf of my students and our audience is that how do you compare this particular state for the students' living point of view as compared to the other states of US, and why should student look at this particular city to come and study?
Well, that's a great question and somewhat of a difficult answer because I believe all of the United States is absolutely incredible. Of course, I'm very biased, but I think it's all incredible. But some of the unique things about North Carolina, and particularly in High Point, where the university is, we're located in the central part of the state. North Carolina is on the east coast of the United States, and it's halfway between the state of New York and the state of Florida. And it's absolutely an incredibly beautiful place. It's a mild climate, so the temperature is not too hot, it's not too cold. Wintertime is just a very short, and it doesn't get that cold during wintertime. So it's a unique place, and we have a lot of students who come to High Point simply because of the climate. They want to get out of the cold or out of the extreme heat, so they'll come to High Point. The interesting thing about North Carolina is it's known for its research, and we have We have what we call the Piedmont Triad area, which is a research area, and then we have the actual research triangle and the Raleigh-Durham area on the more eastern part of the state. So it gives the students an opportunity to really learn about some of the things that are going on. And some of the major industries here they grew out of the area here, and it's very unique. And for that purpose, there are a lot of big companies and stuff that actually have their headquarters here in North Carolina.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. So, friends, I'm sure that you are getting to know more about the city as we are progressing further. Let me put the second question, which is very obvious, before we go out to our main topic today. Jim, we would like to know about the High Point University, uh, how this university is different. Many parents are also equally concerned about the university ranking, its reputation, understandably, because it's an investment which they have to make. And of course, given the market size of US education, it's a huge market. There are plenty of universities available. So how come one make a decision to join HPU? Jim.
Well, and that's the uniqueness really of High Point University is we're a private institution, and we were founded in 1924, so we've been around for a while. Well, High Point University has tremendous opportunities for our students, and I think it starts really with our head of our school, our president of our university, and everything kind of filters down from him. And his attitude is that we are really like a business, and that our clients and our customers are our students. So we need to revolve everything around our customers, around our students. If we're going to have a successful business, they must be the focus of everything we do. And we'll talk a little bit about life skills in a moment, but it revolves around a lot more than just that. The whole attitude of the people here. Our facilities are state of the art. Our facilities are absolutely incredibly beautiful. In the last 10 years, High Point spent $2.15 billion, $2.15 billion in renovations and building new buildings here on our campus. We were growing much more than even some of the largest and most prestigious universities in the United States. So here's a small school. We have only 4,600 undergraduates and approximately 1,000 graduate students. Here's a small university which is making an impact on students' lives. And students go to college really for two reasons. And one, of course, is and the most important one is to get that great education. And even in our mission, we talk about extraordinary education. And that's how we believe. We believe that you're going to have an opportunity to really develop yourself and become an extraordinary person, as well as receive an extraordinary education here at High Point University. And U.S. News and World Report has ranked us for it's now, I guess we're pushing into 10 years in a row as the #1 regional college in the southeastern United States. It's also ranked for the last 5 years in a row as the #1 most innovative regional college in the southeastern United States. Our dormitories are ranked #1 in all of the United States.
Wow.
Our food service is ranked very high. Our security and safety on campus is ranked in the top 10 in all of the United States. Princeton Review ranks us in their top 300 universities in all of the United States. So we've got some real accolades and things, but honestly, those mean nothing without the people that do the work. And we believe strongly in our faculty. We believe strongly in their opportunity and their willingness to be able to share with our students what they need to learn and how they need to grow, and to get that, again, that #1 thing, that's extraordinary education. Our faculty all of our classes are taught by our faculty. Our classes average 17 students per class. 17 students, which allows our students to interact with one another. It allows our professors to get to know the students. And when you have those small classes, oh goodness, so many other things happen. You not only take that information from the textbook and discuss it, you pull it apart. You talk about it, you discuss it, and then you put it back together again. That's when your education really happens for our students. That's the exciting part about being in a small school and a small private school, because we can do that. We're able to control that. I know when I went to college, my classes, when my freshman year, I had classes 50, 60, 120. I had a class of 500 students. And I didn't learn anything in that class.
Yeah,
Also, all
absolutely.
of my classes were taught by teaching assistants, graduate
Yes.
students. Okay, I was one of those. I did that. It waived my tuition fees. But you know what? My priorities were, number one priority was to have good grades in the graduate programs I was in. Number two was I had to have another job to pay some of the bills, so I had to be sure and take care of that. Third on my list was teaching that class. So it was a lower priority, and quite frankly, it was not it was not a good opportunity for students to get a great education. That's why we have every every class taught by a professor.
Absolutely. I think you made a lot of important points in such a short and crisp answer. Friends and parents, especially if you're listening to what Jim has said, and let me just conclude it. What very important point which he raised. Many a time you may not realize that when you try to choose a university, and by the sheer size of the university, if the classroom size is more than 20 or 25, it becomes very difficult to have very interactive and meaningful educational experience within the classroom. And what Jim said very clearly, that the faculty's teaching is way different than the teaching assistant coming in and teaching you. And you don't want to be learned by the teaching assistant. Ideally, you want to get first hand experience by learning from the faculties directly. And this is where again this size of university becomes very important, especially the students who come from Indian culture background. We have got the habit of more of hand holding and more of spoon feeding atmosphere and culture. This is where I believe it is very important that you do not feel like a lost in the classroom of a class size of 100 plus or 200 plus. In fact, I don't even call this as a classroom, it's a class hall, wherein you are just one of many, and faculty definitely cannot pay attention to each and every student in that class size. So I believe this is a very important point what students and parents needs to keep in mind while selecting a right university. And when Jim said very modestly that it's a small university, let me just add that it's still, the small university has got around 6,500 students on campus. We are talking about 20 sports clubs. We are talking about 100 clubs for students, and we are still talking about 430 acres of land. So by Indian means, and it's still a very big university. Just when you're talking about the student size per classroom, 17 students, it's a fantastic opportunity, I believe, for students' point of view. Thank you, Jim. Let's move on to the next point, which is again is the talk of the today's talk. uh, Jim, we have noticed that a lot of companies, a lot of visionaries, a lot of innovators are seemingly and understandably feeling dissatisfied with the present ongoing education system and the way it has been taught to the students, wherein traditionally this all education system focuses more on to the rote learning, classroom teaching, and a little bit of exposure to the industry in the name of the industry visits or excursions. Uh, in fact, I've got some data just before I can ask you the question. The Forbes magazine says that 80% of low performers, and that's the reason why understandably industries are very dissatisfied with the current education system, that Forbes says that 80% of low performers at the industry level have got low EQ and not IQ. It's low EQ, emotional quotient. And that's what we are going to talk in the next question. And also, another very interesting report suggests that there are top five reasons why new hires fail. And that's specifically applicable to the fresh graduates who are graduating from this conventional education centers. So the top five reasons says the first two reasons. Number one is 38% is lack of motivation, and second, 29% again emotional intelligence or lack of emotional intelligence. So with this background, Jim, my next question to you is that what are the current challenges you see as an academician, as a representative of such a huge university? Why degree is not enough, And if it is not enough, what are the extracurricular skills or activities the students needs to learn apart from education?
And yeah, absolutely, we are we are involved in those studies and found out all those numbers and statistics that you mentioned. And so the President Cobain, our president of our university, said, you know what, that's not going to happen here at High Point University. We're not going to allow students to leave here and not be prepared to be successful in their careers. Remember when I talked about our customers being our students? Well, being the customer in our business, you want them to be satisfied. You want them to be successful. So our goal has been to set up what we call a life skills program. And we even changed our moniker, our logo, to High Point University, the Life Skills University in the United States of America. And that was on purpose because we want to instill in our students, in our faculty, in our staff, that our goal is to make sure that students are prepared to be able to do presentations orally. They're prepared to handle a budget, how to write a budget, how to set a budget, how to follow a budget. We want them to be able to understand time management. We also want them to understand the word personal time management. Some people are more excited and more motivated in the mornings versus the evenings. And how do you adjust that? How do you work with that? It was so important to our university that President Cobain teaches a class on life skills. Here is a university president teaching a mandatory class for all incoming freshmen. Again, I don't know of another university has a president teaching a mandatory class.
Unheard of.
And so that was part of it. But there is so much more to it. We do some little things that just keep building up until they become much more important. Things such as having the students have opportunity to learn dining etiquette. We have a 5-star restaurant on our campus, and as part of the students' meal plan, a 5-star restaurant. Again, there is no other university, to my knowledge, that has a 5-star restaurant sitting in the middle of their campus to help students understand the importance of dining etiquette. And every curriculum, every department has been charged with the responsibilities of instilling life skill techniques and strategies to help our students understand the importance. You talked about motivation. How do you get someone to get motivated? How do you get them excited? And that it goes back to a factor that we discovered long ago, is that students tend to come to us undeclared, not knowing what they want to do. Or they say, you know what, I'm going to study business because my buddy Johnny is studying business. Well, that's not a reason to study business. We set up a program we call Project Discovery. And Project Discovery, their goal is to find out what you have a passion for, what gets you excited, what makes you want to do what you want to do. Not just get a job, but this help you find a career that you get excited about. I look at myself, and I have been blessed for all these years to be in a job situation that I absolutely love. I get excited, get up in the morning and go to work. I love it. I can't wait to be there. That's the mentality. That's the attitude that we want to help our students find. So the Project Discovery is a part of that, and that end result is helping them understand life skills, helping them understand that if you don't have a passion for something, it probably isn't the right route to follow. But how can you get motivated about something you just are doing because you want to have a paycheck? Let's help you find something you get excited about. So that's all part of it. It's all comes together. It's one of the tremendous benefits of going to, first of all, a small school like ours with classes, again, averaging only 17 and all taught by professors. It helps you become motivated. It helps you realize the importance that life skills have. And these are skills that doesn't matter what field you go into, what your career is, they're all skills that are going to help you be successful and help you become motivated. Because why? You're passionate about what you're doing. You're excited about going to work. Every morning I go into work and we have security 24/7. And I get a fist bump, I get a high five, and they go, Jim, how are you doing today? It's a beautiful day. Doesn't matter if it's even raining. It's still a beautiful day. and how can you not be excited and motivated when you have that kind of introduction? And that's every day I get that.
I'm saying that it's so important, and I totally agree with you, Jim. Whatever you explain, and I guess that the kids needs to understand this, and this is where the parents face the challenges to teach them or to train them these values, which definitely doesn't happen at the home. Parents gets busy in their profession, and they want their kids, apart from having the educational experience, they also learn this day-to-day life skills, which you clearly mentioned, and that's the key for future success. Thank you, Jim, and it's really interesting and exciting for me as well to learn something which is very new to learn from you. So, friends, if you want to discover your purpose, that's what Jim is saying. Then the university offers you a project discovery, and what is the best way, to discover your purpose with the help of the teachers and the coaches, and then you enjoy your education at the university level. Let's move on to this next very important question, again related to the life skill learning. Jim, I noticed onto your website when I was doing a little research that the co-founders of Apple, like Steve Wozniak, I saw Netflix co-founder Mark Randolph. They are among your mentors, your coaches, who come and they have a session with the students. It's unheard of any other university doing and taking that much of pain and interest to teach and train the students with these great innovators of our time. So, how does this work, and then how do the students get involved in this kind of mentoring session?
I'll tell you, I don't think there's another university that does this sort of thing. And these individuals, these entrepreneurs, these innovators, they don't just come on campus and do a speech and then leave. They're on campus for a week, sometimes 2 weeks, and they're there. They're teaching. They're working with students. They're in classes. They have projects together. They spend a lot of time with our students. So our students are not sitting in an audience and they're on a stage. They're actually rubbing elbows with these guys and literally in classrooms with them and talking with them. They come a couple of times each year to spend time with the students. Our goal here is to give the students exposure to these sort of people, these people who have taken nothing and blew it up into something that has been phenomenal. Use some creativity, entrepreneurship, and all of us are entrepreneurs. We're either selling ourselves, we're selling a product, we're selling an idea. And if you don't understand how to do that, how the energy and the motivation it takes to do that, you won't be successful. And we don't want our students to not have exposure to these people and have that opportunity. We have numerous people who come to us in different areas and different careers and talk with our students about these wonderful opportunities that they're going to have. And they talk about those life skills. They talk about that motivation. They talk about how it's difficult if you don't love what you're doing, if you don't have a passion for it. They talk about all of that. And all it does is creates a real motivation with our students, creates an attitude or a feeling that, you know what, I want to do this. I want to be successful. And so it's very interesting to watch that. And again, I dare say, I don't think there's another university that these gentlemen go to, gentlemen and ladies, I should say, go to and share their time with us. And we have people in the professional sports world. We have people in the news world. It's incredible the opportunities that are provided by these people who come and are part of our program. So really quickly, that's what it's about, is to share and get our kids excited. Get our kids excited about what they have. We believe all of our students are extraordinary. We just think that they have these abilities that are laying dormant, and we want to open them up so that they can get involved and really learn who they are.
Right, absolutely right. And friends, it's just imagine that it would be so exciting to meet these innovators, which you usually happen to see them on the television or in the news channels, And then, as Jim said, they are just not being the passive audience. You are actually rubbing your shoulders with them, and they are spending not just few hours, a couple of minutes to come and then make the show seminar. They come and they spend weeks together with the students to help them transform and find their purpose. So I believe that's a great opportunity. I have not heard of any university in last 12 years in my industry, in my business, of taking such initiative and making students to get so close with the industry innovators and the performers. So that's great. Thank you, Vidisha, for your comment. Thank you for watching the show. Great. So thank you, Jim. Let's move on quickly to our next question. So let's talk about now if the students are interested, as I am, about your university, what program do you have offered? I mean, I know that there are many programs, but if you can just focus on to the core programs which you would like to talk about, and maybe important from Indian perspective, and focusing more onto masters and bachelors little bit, and their fees quickly, and if you have any
Okay.
scholarship.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. We have over 62 undergraduate majors for our students, and our most popular one is business. But of course, business is an umbrella for economics, finance, accounting, and all that sort of things. Communications is very important. The sciences are another very strong department that we have. The health sciences, and we're adding new ones all the time. The president just announced that we're going to have a dental school. We have for graduates programs, we're going to have a dental school. We're going to have a pharmacy school. We already have a pharmacy school, an incredible pharmacy school, physical therapy and physician assistant. We're now going to do a medical sciences PhD. So we're just doing more and more and more all the time, trying to, again, reach out and help those students and recognize an area that we can be of service to the students. And so those are important to us. Our undergraduate program, as I say, is 62 plus majors, and it has a lot of opportunity for our students. Now, our tuition fees are all inclusive. Okay, they include your housing, your meal plan, and a whole list of other items that fall under that. And it's 57,000 American dollars per year as our tuition. And in those fees, it's interesting some of the things we add. We will provide transportation to and from the 3 major airports in North Carolina. No other university does that.
True.
You have access to a 5-star restaurant as part of your meal plan. No other university does that. You have all your printing is included. Obviously, all your Wi-Fi net, laundry, all those things are part of it. If you were going to some other university, you would have to pay for all of that, and we don't do that, and still have the expense that is there. So our tuition is about 57,000. It's all inclusive. Now the merit scholarships that we offer for undergraduate students, those go from all the way from 5,000 to full tuition. Okay, and that's about a $40,000 bill. It's depending on your GPA and the course curriculum. We are test optional. We are test optional and have been for many years. Not just because of the pandemic, but we have been that way for many years. So students do not even have to take the SAT or ACT for undergraduate program. And it's not necessary to take it for any of our merit scholarship. So the merit scholarships are based upon your grades and your course curriculum. Then you also have an opportunity to get another group of money we call fellowships. And that's an additional $3,000 that we offer the students. Now, the common application is the application we use for the admissions for undergraduate. And that common application is your application for the merit scholarships I mentioned initially. The fellowships have a separate application because those are reviewed by the different departments, and those are by a different department. So that's separate. Graduate school, the tuition is the same in graduate school, and they have their own scholarship programs that they offer there. Some of those are based through the departments, so they're all different. So it's difficult for me to give you, like I can with the undergraduate, the exact number for the scholarship for the graduate programs. Our graduate program is small, but it's very, very good program. We've been recognized and accredited all through all of our different programs, and so it's really it's growing all the time and developing, and it's going to be exciting. Hospitality is also another major we've added. We're building our own boutique hotel right here on campus.
Okay.
So another unique feature that's going to be available to students. Actually, it should be done this next month.
Okay, great. Congratulations for so many achievements and all the best for the future endeavors. I believe that that makes a lot of sense for students and parents, that to pay the fees, which is all inclusive, and uh, just safeguard yourself from any unforeseen or surprises later on, which you might receive as a part of your additional charges and additional fees. And as Jim said, friends, please make a note that university is very generous in offering scholarship from as low as $4,000 for undergrads to as high as 100% tuition fee waiver based on your GPAs. So if you need clarity on that, and if you want to have your documents assessed, please do contact us on our helpline number or email to us, and we'll be more than happy to connect you with the university, get your documents assessed, and let you know what kind of scholarship you would be eligible for. The very important thing, what Jim mentioned, merit scholarship is a part of your normal applications. You don't have to make a separate application, but fellow scholarship, you have to do a separate application. But nevertheless, counselors would be there to guide you. Before going for the last question, Jim, I have got a question from Naman. Naman is requesting, is there any health science after 12th or an MBBS degree program which is equivalent to a doctorate degree program at the campus?
We do have several different health science programs. We don't have a medical school. We are not a medical school at this point. Our health services are going to be, obviously pharmacy, physical therapy, exercise science, and those are our graduate programs that we're going to have for the student. Undergraduate includes nursing. We do have a pre-med program that's available for students to take. So those are some of the health sciences programs that we have. And as I say, we're adding dentistry, which is another one that'll be a graduate program. It's on its way. And we're adding a doctor of medical sciences, which basically is a person who would run a hospital or run a medical clinic or something, not necessarily a doctor.
Doctor, yeah. So Naman, thank you for asking the question. Thank you, Jim. I hope that Naman, you got your answer. Let's move on to the next part. So Jim, we would like to understand from you that how's the COVID situation at the moment, because many students and parents who aspire to go abroad for higher education are asking for this question. So the classes are happening online or on campus, and how the situation looks like in the city as well?
All of our classes are face to face. And so we're doing face-to-face classes. We've had a few situations with international students that we've had to do some online classes, or we've deferred their actual enrollment until they are able to get here. So we believe in face-to-face. We don't think it's healthy to do online classes, to be honest with
Absolutely.
you. We think it's more important for you to be here and be able to interact. And I think this whole pandemic has kind of shown how important face-to-face classes really are for our students' educational opportunities. So we are not requiring vaccinations. We believe that is a personal decision. We follow the guidelines that are dictated to us by our county and our state government. If they tell us to wear masks, we wear masks. Whatever they tell us to do. We were so lucky this last year. We had face-to-face classes in the 2020 and 2021 school year, and we had some COVID cases, absolutely, but we were able to. We had our protocols set up, and the students were phenomenal. They were so good about wearing their masks, the social distancing, all of that, and we had very few cases, but we certainly had some. And it went great. Our students were so thankful. We got so many emails and so many letters from mom and dad saying, thank goodness, because our other child who went to XYZ university is sitting here in front of a computer taking classes and have no idea when or if they'll ever be able to go back to being in a classroom. And we're,
Absolutely.
we're working our darndest and to try and make that happen for you. Every country is different as far as your entrance into the U.S. I would admonish your students to please take a look at those, because tomorrow they'll change,
Yeah.
or you just never know right now with all that's going on. But to please verify that. Some of the U.S. embassies are open and then they're closed, and then they're only doing emergency. The student visas are considered an emergency visa. I've had 3 or 4 of my students this year who were able to get, quote, emergency student visas, and so they're able to come. We're doing our very best to try and adhere to any of the laws and policies that our governments, both nationally, state, and county, are dictating to us.
Thank you, Jim. That gives a lot of confidence to our listeners that why should they select this university? And as you rightly said, even we don't advocate the students to go to the university, pay in dollars or euros, and just to learn online. And it really doesn't add to your any exposure. And the whole purpose of having international exposure and international education, by being surrounded by the like-minded and like-hearted people from different part of the world, it
Yeah.
gets defied. So I totally agree with you on this point, and I think that's a very good news for the parents and the students who are listening and who are already making up a mind to move to US for higher education. And as you rightly been asking, that which universities are available for physical education and face-to-face classroom studies, here is the answer for you in terms of High Point University offering that. And apart from that, it's also making sure that you are living in a safe and secure environment. Safety is utmost priority of the university, and as you already heard Jim saying, that they have got 5-star rated facilities and accommodation and the restaurant, I'm sure that you would be in the safe hand. So thank you, Jim, for this piece of information.
You
And
bet.
thank you, friends, for listening us this program. We come to the conclusion and towards the end of this show. And before we conclude this show, let me ask the one final question as a piece of advice. So, Jim, your one line success advice to our students who are listening to you.
Well, I think that the key to all this is do your research. Find out about what do you want to accomplish and what do you want to do. Make sure you have your goals and your priorities set, and then start doing your research and get in there. We spend thousands and thousands of dollars on these websites, and then on top of that, use your counselor. Call me, talk to me. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask, because I want to help you. I want to make you successful. I want you to have an opportunity to realize the priorities and goals that you've set in your life. And that's what it's all about. And whether you go to High Point University or another university, that's okay with me. I just want to make sure that you're successful and that you accomplish what you want to accomplish. That's the goal. So do your research, utilize your counselor. Those would be my 2 things that I would suggest that you do, and not just one.
Okay. Okay, so friends, here you hear from Jim advising you on very important 2 points. So do your research and use your counselors who is available. So Jim details are always available on the website, and you can also alternatively talk to us and then find out more information, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in charting out your plans to get into this top rated, a very unique university in United States. So thank you, friends, for joining us for this show of unique way to guarantee your career in the US. And I'm sure that this show was very useful for you to get some different perspective of education, studying abroad, especially when we're talking about in the United States. And thank you, Jim, for joining us for the show. Thank you very much. We've got the information, we've got the message. Vidisha, thank you for liking our program. And yes, indeed, Jim, credit goes to you to make this program so insightful and informative for our listeners.
That's my
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you so very much. I wish you all very, very good luck and fortune.
Thank you. So, friends, if you still have any further query or question, please feel free to contact us on our helpline number. That's 9987099890, or visit our website www.alif.in. Our experienced counselor will be happy to assist you instantly. My name is Aslam Sheikh, founder and CEO of Alif, signing off with a promise to come back again on next Friday, sharp at 5 p.m., with another interesting topic and some amazingly talented speaker enlightening you on the subject that matters to you the most. Until then, stay safe and stay excited.